Hello everyone and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play games with pace, vim and vigour in about 2 hours or less. I'm one of your hosts, Gaz, and when I'm not doing this, I also run What Would the Smart Party Do, the UK's premier RPG podcast. So do feel free to head over there and get some tips, tricks and interviews with industry luminaries. But enough about that. What are we doing today? We are going to be playing Vileborn. It's a young adult nobledark setting. What does that mean? I don't know. We're going to play to find out. But imagine a dark fantasy world where it's constantly cloudy and gloomy. The main characters are teenagers, late teenagers, trying to find their way in the world, powered by some kind of darkness within them. But there's even darker and more horrible things out there which they have to fight against, lest they get burned at the stake or executed by the Empire or some other terrible fate. But I'm sure all our lovely players and characters will avoid that this evening. Talking of whom, let's introduce everybody around the table, and we shall start with my co-host Guy. How's it going, Guy, and who are you playing this evening?
It's going amazingly. Yes, I'm Guy, co-host of this, and also I blog at Burn After Running about mostly one-shot RPGs and other gaming stuff. Today I am playing Severin Montfleur, a simple farming boy, stout and hardy and reliable as an ox, and just as witless as well, according to my family. I have spent many years toiling in the fields, but have I let it affect my sunny disposition, my kindness and generosity to my friends? I have not yet, for I have an optimistic view of the life, despite the terrors that plague this dark punk. It feels like this genre should have a something punk title. World. I'm optimistic that all will turn out for the best, especially now I've met my new friends.
Indeed, and also on the creaking back of this wagon, we have Tasha. How's it going? Who are you playing this evening?
Hey, I'm Tasha, co-founder of Ukraine and actual play channel Idea Roll, and today I'm playing here Thalia, who is an orphan, and I grew on the streets after my family tragically died in a fire. But luckily, I still have them. And some of other many ghosts in the city. Due to my dark heritage, I'm a ghost walker, and I still can, ask for advice if I need some, or, if I need to vent to someone. So I guess I was not facing the threat of being burned alive, because mostly I was treated as, like local crazy lady. But yeah, new friends, new adventures, very exciting. Happy to be here.
Wonderful stuff. And then also we have Becky. How are things with you?
Yeah, good. I am playing Celine Cervantes. She is sort of a wild animal, part young adult, I think that's the right way. So lived in the woods, has really just escaped being tortured, burnt, killed by not letting anybody see her. But it's a lonely place, and looking to find her pack, I think. So hopefully that's these weirdos in the back of this wagon with me.
Right, indeed. Great company to have. And last but not least, we have Stephen. Who are you playing this evening?
Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm one of the organisers at Edinburgh Indie Gamers, a community for small press and storytelling games in Edinburgh. You can find out more about us at edinburghindygamers.com. This evening I'll be playing Renee Revenoir, the Hexbringer. So she is a nomad and a vagabond running from town to town, one step ahead of the most recent accusation of witchcraft, because once people find out about her terrible visions of the future, she's no longer welcome. So hopefully she'll find the family she never had in the back of this squalid wagon.
Wonderful. So it's a bit of an upgrade to be in the back of this wagon. I see.
At least I'm not on foot.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say on fire.
I thought that as
that
well.
too.
Okay, so we start the adventure. Everything is grey and dark, as it always is. The fields, if they have any crops, are probably things like turnips or mushrooms or stuff that will grow in the meagre light that there is. the sky is just like a bruised tapestry of dark clouds above you, and it's getting even darker, which lets you know that night time's approaching. You are being shepherded by Ygritte, a Warden of Dusk. She's recruited you less than a week ago, and appears troubled as you're travelling along, looking around. She can see nearby, off the tracks, there's an abandoned hunting hut or something like that in the woods that you've stumbled across. But you all realise at this point that you're being pursued. You're certain that, at least. Men, women, consumed by hatred, zealots driven by religious fervour, determined to purge the world of your existence, perhaps. Light's fading and time is running out. Ygritte's dragged the wagon off the trails and looks at this hut, such as it is, and says, "You've got to help me. Secure this place. We have no chance against the dozens, the scores that follow us. If they catch us, surely that will be your end. We must do all we can. Bolster our defences, cover tracks, whatever it is we can do. Maybe set some traps or something. Avoid using your special gifts for now, though. That will only attract more attention and maybe even more dangerous and darker things in the woods. Let's see what we can do to try and stay safe as best we can." And with that, she works with the animal to try and drag the cart off the track, rather. So you've got a spare wood around. You've got this ramshackle hut, and between you guys all need to come up with something you're going to do to try and either cover your tracks, to defend yourselves, to put the people pursuing you off, or some other way of helping. And this will be our introduction to the system. So each of you can choose an approach and then bring in any training or personality you think that helps, and we'll make some rolls and see how well you do, or indeed if the adventure ends early because you roll terrible. So who's got an idea about what they might like to do to help the situation out?
I'm gonna, you said the spare wood around. I'm handy with a hammer and nails. I can begin building barricades and so on to make the hut defensible if they get there. Start building it up so that this ramshackle hut is in fact a stout castle that we will be able to defend, or at least better than the hut that it is.
Amazing. So take your die for your approach.
I think I'm going to use force for that. I think that
sounds good. And if you've got any training or a personality trait that you think helps.
So I've got a personality trait of strong, which I'd imagine helps. Training is a bit more of a stretch. I've got defend, but I don't know if you'll...
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to be mean, because that's the kind of setting we're in. So the target number is 5, which is normal. So you'll get to roll your 2 dice, pick your best one, and try and get more than 5, ideally.
Excellent. Here we go. Yes, I'll pick the 9.
Okay, great. So you get success. You get to narrate your outcome if there's anything extra details you want to add in, or we can just pass on to someone else.
I think this is probably happening in the background while everyone else does it, because obviously, while I am slightly witless, I'm not going to barricade the hut with everyone outside it. That would be a mistake. So while everyone else is moving in, I am hammering nails and gathering up huge scenes of loose wood and building up big barricades there until this hut is larger but significantly more fortified, and there's a makeshift barricade behind the door that I'm waiting to slam and put down when people arrive.
Sounds amazing. Shall we go around the order introduced you? That might be easy for people, so people know. So, Tasha, what do you do to help the situation?
Well, I think that I will try to make some sort of a trap, something on one of the branches of the trees, with a rope hanging over it, and some sort of a net with boulders or bigger sticks or anything I can find around as a weight that can fall down and overwhelm someone if they get close enough to be a threat to us, but safely covered in greenery meanwhile. So
Sounds great. What's the approach?
I'd say it's precision.
Okay.
And in my training, I have sucker punch. Does that?
I'm not buying what you're selling.
Somebody's not expected.
I see what kind of game this is going to be.
Yeah. My job's mainly to say no to players. Which is why I'm choosing roleplay.
I've set the standard of push what a push is, and yeah, it was clearly set in stone like it. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had anything else, or we're just going to roll that one die to see how that does?
Oh well, that sneaks through, which I don't think is anywhere fitting. So I'm rolling just one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
well, you know what? It's not fine.
It turns out my assurance was overrated. Okay, so you're trying to set something up, but you haven't got the ropes and things necessary, like what you can assemble in the time you think you've got.
You know what? It's just I rose at the streets of a city. It's one of the first times I'm actually out. It's like, ooh, trees, nature. I've got it, guys. I've got it.
You don't got it. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is give you the condition of exhaustion.
Yeah, it's really hard out here.
It's very tiring. You thought it was going to be easy watching your companions who's carrying logs on his shoulders and stuff, but turns out not so much. Peggy, has your character got something you can do to help?
Oh, potentially. So I think Celine is going to going to try and do a little bit of subterfuge, which I'm hoping is going to cover some like getting rid of tracks, but also creating tracks, as if we almost like bypassed the hut and actually aren't in there. So she spent a lot of time hunting, and so I think she's like used to like knowing where to tread to leave prints or to avoid leaving them and things. So I'm hoping that she can use her hunting training.
Yeah, I think that's ideal.
Do a little bit of subterfuge. So I'm going to roll 2d8 in that case. And I'll take the 6.
Yeah, so exactly as described, you can create some false trails and hide your own tracks. That's all good. So it's looking good for the home team. We've got two successes so far. Stephen, can you bring it on home?
Well, I don't know, but I've certainly got a plan. So I think what Renee is going to try and do is, I think these bigoted villagers are afraid of us, but are they afraid enough? And I am going to carve on the door of the hut and around the windows and the window frames terrible, fearsome sigils from pagan folklore and like dark tales. So I'm going to go for an influence approach, and I've got the personality trait sinister and training in pagan rites.
Yeah, I'm buying that. Get all 3 dice.
So the best one is an 8.
Yeah, exactly as you would hope. Do you want to describe for us what happens when the first hunters approach and see your terrible sigils on the front door?
Yeah, I think that as the hunters approach, they're creeping up towards the door and ready to knock it aside when they notice a sort of bright red smear of blood across this sigil that Renee has left there, and sort of stumble back, gasping in horror.
Sounds good. And to add to that, also, there's strange sounds down in the woods as night has more or less fully arrived. It's halfway between a scream and a howl that seems to echo from deep in the woods, and all the normal folk look to each other and lose their nerve and disappear back to the safety of the trail and back to their homes as quickly as they can, much to your relief. But with that, you have to hunker down inside this makeshift fortress that you've got for yourself in the woods. The noises continue outside the hut. Ygritte tells you to keep quiet, not use your powers. There's very weird, strange things that can be out there in the darkness, and you've not been trained yet. So all you can do is huddle around a small, meager fire so that the light doesn't get too bright. Maybe discuss amongst yourselves what you hope for in the future. So each of your characters is on the way to become part of the Order of Dusk, which is the organisation which will make you immune from prosecution across the land and allow you to continue. But you must have some personal aspiration as well, and that's something you can note down in your character sheet, which you'll be able to use as a later point, possibly. So I'll stick with the same order. Guy, what's the aspiration of your character, or what do you tell the other players or other characters even?
I just want to impress my family, mother, father, and my 8 brothers, that I am more than a carrier of grain and ringer of oxen. I'm actually capable of being more than a simple farmer, and I'm not witless, in fact. So yeah, to impress my family.
Sounds great.
My aspiration.
Tasha, what's Thalia's aspiration?
It's actually somewhat similar to Severance, but to impress the family, you've got to have the family. So my aspiration would be to find a new family, someone who would treat me not as a local crazy lady, but as an equal.
Sounds very good. Yeah, good luck with that in this environment. How about Celine, Becky? What does she hope for?
There is so much teenage angst in this cabin because I am also seeking a family.
Yay! We can do family to each other!
I think Celine is, having been solo and living in the woods alone for quite a long time, is looking for her pack. Unfortunately, her last pack came to a pretty sticky end because she killed and ate most of them. So she's really looking for a family that can protect themselves and make sure I don't eat them. And you guys, you seem pretty tough actually, so I'm hoping that's going to work out for me this time.
A grumbling from your stomach as you look round.
That blood on the door is looking
I hope it works out for you too.
Yeah, I hope you find a family, Celine, somewhere out there. Yeah.
And how about Renee?
Well, I can take or leave a family, but the one thing I am tired of is living life on the road, always running away. So I'm looking for somewhere that I can call home, even if I have to live there on my own. It'll be great. It'll be great to have something that's mine.
Wonderful stuff. Your ward is kind of like sat listening to you talk to each other, smoking a little pipe. And at one point, there's a sudden chill in the air and a sinister hiss echoing outside. You can hear the scraping of claws on planks as she holds her breath in the cold. But eventually it moves on and she can breathe out again. This bluish smoke, which smells strangely of spices and chocolate or something, comes out. But eventually she's satisfied that the things that are hunting the night have moved on. And in fact, dawn has arrived, although there's no great golden sunshine that bursts through the cracks in the wood or anything like that. It's just slightly less dark than it was before. And if anything, a little bit warmer, maybe. And so it is that you can go and try and reach your goal of the mount where the Order of Dusk has its headquarters, a big fortress on an icy lake. And you rumble along, and happily for all of you, as you can chat with your newfound family, we'll call it in inverted commas, for now. There doesn't seem to be anything immediately in your path. So this bit of the journey is all right. There's perhaps a bit of trepidation about what the future trials may hold to get you into the Order of Dusk, hoping you get accepted, that kind of thing. But otherwise, you've got time to reflect. So for each of you, you can add in, if you want, another piece of training and a bit of your personality on your character sheets, if you've not done this already, and perhaps ponder your gift. So there'll be 2 gifts on your character sheet. You can circle one of them or underline it, whatever you want to do. That'll be things that you have. So now we've done our first little dice rolling, we can now start leveling up and use other things as we go and see how they play out during the game. And there is an opportunity for that more or less upon you. So as you've travelled a little further, you're in forested mountains, ice-capped, although I say ice-capped, the ice leads quite a long way down the mountain, to be honest, right to the lake shore, and there's a frozen over lake. If you imagine the sort of French islands that are like you can only get across when the tide's out kind of thing, those sort of castle on a mount kind of thing, that's the sort of thing you can see up ahead, except that the lake around it's frozen solid, so it doesn't really matter about tides or paths or anything like that. You'd just be able to go across the ice, you imagine. However, as you get to the valley pass that leads into this place, there's a barricade across the road. There's some soldiers of the Empire. There is only one Empire that rules everything, as there is only one church. So they tell you. There's definitely no other empires or churches. But there's some soldiers dressed in like just mucky uniforms, at least for the benefit of it. Like they obviously used to being camped out here and not like well bathed and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of like stubble and feed stains down the front of a tabard, that kind of stuff. And as your wagon approaches, a Greet sort of shows a seal to prove that she's part of the order, and they nod. But then, as is always the case at these sort of border stops, one or two of the guards feel like they have to like sniff round the back of the cart and start poking things with the halberds. And the most garrulous of them sort of says, "Oh, what we've got here then? These don't look like normal kids. That one looks particularly rough. He looks stupid. What's up with her? Why is she staring off and talking to herself? Not sure about these, agree. I'm not sure I can let these pass right now."
I think Celine, being a hothead, just like slams her like hands down on the back of the cart and stares like straight into their face and is just like, "Watch your mouth."
It takes a bit of a start. Says, "Watch my mouth. How about I teach you some manners?" And he sort of bristles a bit. You think at first he was going to back down, but the jeers of his friends behind him are kind of pushing him forward again. Do you want to make a test for me to see if you can cow him, or otherwise get him to back off as a wild animal would to another entering its territory?
Okay. Yeah. Just remind me, testing is a D12,
So,
and I
it's-
pick the same as before as well.
No, it's just a regular test, so pick any approach you
regular
want.
test. Sorry,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Okay. So, could I? So it would be influence, would it, for this?
I think so. That's the way it sounded
Okay.
like. And then
So
any personality or
influence,
training,
I'm a hothead, so can I
definitely.
use that?
Yeah.
And I
And-
think that's probably it. I don't think.
Okay,
there's anything
so
else
you've
that I
mentioned the
can use.
D12, so I'll bring it up so that everybody at home knows as well. If you want to tap into your darkness that you have inside you, you could do that by ticking one of the little boxes, and then you get to roll a D12 as well. But you kind of will have to let me know how that manifests itself. So, what is it? Is it a physical aspect? Is it something about you?
Yeah, I think let's do it. Why not? I mean, that's what we're here to play. Isn't it?
Mark
So,
your dark heritage.
yeah, I've marked my dark heritage. I'm gonna add the D12, and as she like slams her what were hands down on the back of the cart, suddenly like hair has like grown quite thick up her arms, and her nails have come into points, and there's sort of her voice comes out more of a growl than any sort of words just towards the end there, so he catches it enough, but like yeah, her hair is on end, and there's a very animalistic sort of appearance to Celine now.
Wonderful. So you get to roll a D12 as well,
So the highest is a 6.
which is a success. Yep. So when you've only ticked one box on your dark heritage, complications happen on a 9+, then it's on a 6+, then it's on a 3+. So you
Okay.
didn't get any extra complications, and you've got a clean success. So you can tell me what happens.
Amazing. Okay, I think the person who was speaking to us like just pees themselves, and then suddenly having their friends around is not bolstering them anymore, and they're really wishing that none of their comrades were there, and they just like immediately everybody's laughing at them, and the onus is taken off us, and we're able to just move through.
Yeah, exactly. So there's lots of shouts and laughing from the other guards about going, "Oh, it's warm now, but it'll be cold in a minute, won't it?" And there's a lot of that good-natured laddie bants that happens behind you. But happily for you, you can all progress as someone moves the barricade out of the way and the car can carry on you. You just get a little bit of like an older sister kind of wink and a nod from Ygritte, who seems to judge that you've handled yourself well in this situation, and she's made the right choice in recruiting you. And so it is that you're travelling across this icy lake and get to the mount. It's an impressive castle. It's got chapels in it and all kinds of rooms and twisting corridors and grand staircases, but it's very austere. It's very much blacks and greys and lots of winteriness, wind howling through arrow slits, that kind of stuff. And you're led up past lots of other soldiers, men that are armed in full plate, lots of the Order of the Dusk, these knights whose job it's been to defend the Empire and the Church for so long. And you probably maybe feel a little bit out of place, possibly. You certainly don't seem like the martial types that everybody else does necessarily anyway, and certainly not necessarily urbane. But you're eventually taken to the Grand Cathedral just outside it. And that's where Ygritte, who's... Now you see her in her aspect. At first, perhaps when you saw her in her armour and a purple cloak and other things, it just seemed... She seemed, I don't know, perhaps on a pedestal to you, perhaps she just seemed impressive or martial, and now she just seems one of the many people that are around, and you realise maybe this mentor that you've got's not as high up the rankings as maybe you imagined she was. Who knows? What we'll find out shortly. But there's an impressive set of double doors behind you, banded with iron and studded, lots of filigree and scroll work of like the stars, and the martyr Uriel who's up in the sky, who's the effectively God. Light and all that kind of stuff is the themes of the church. And she turns at this point to light her pipe once more and look at each of you and kind of nod. And particularly to the claw shrouder amongst you. She says, well, you've acquitted yourself well there in front of men, but I have to warn you all. This is where you'll have to prove yourself with a challenge before the real players who are here. If you can pass this, you'll come under the protection of the Lex Umbræ. No one will be able to hunt you anymore. You'll be protected as long as you serve the Order. This is it. Are there any questions, doubts, fears? If there's anything you have here that you need to ask or want to tell me, this is where you should lay it all out.
Do they feed us too before the tests and challenges?
They don't feed you now.
That's also an important question.
If you live, they will feed you, but there's no point in feeding people now who may not survive through. That'd be a waste of valuable food.
How many people fail?
I've not had anybody fail, she says somewhat archly.
A little evasive, but good enough, I'm sure.
I mean, we're sure to win. I've seen what we were like in the hut. I've seen how scary Celine was before. We're definitely going to win.
At that, Celine sort of turns around from where she'd like wandered off a little bit, and she brings you like a dead rat over Thalia. And just like throws it to you and is like, "This is edible." Sorry, what?
Of course it is. I'll just add a little bit of herbs. And I'm sort of taking out the little pot and looks like I'm gonna try and cook it like here and now.
And I guess only Thalia sees the ghost of the rat staring at you accusingly from the side of as you're about to boil this pot.
Don't look at me like that. You do not have use of this thing anymore, and we can. So you have to be understandable and accommodating. I'm not taking your spirit, just only the bodily remains. And I'm like mumbling to myself while I'm preparing a little meal for us all. Probably if we're sharing the rat in between us, it's just a little, not even snack.
I shake my head at the company I'm keeping now.
Yeah, I think I'm fine, actually. I had a big meal before we got in the cart, actually. I'm fine.
So kind of
Fine
you.
for rat so far.
Yes, I can probably wait to one rat doesn't go far, and I'm happy to forgo my share.
Oh,
More to us?
More
Celine
for
looks
you.
a little bit put out. She gives both of you like a stern look. Like,
But it was a lovely gesture,
Yes,
and we
I
do
very
appreciate it,
much
don't we, Renee?
appreciate
We
it.
do appreciate it.
There's a little bit of a hackle raise, and then at those words, she's like, okay.
Well, this feels to me like it's a bit of a bonding moment that you're having. So you all have a bond with another of the Vileborn, which I'll let you do at this point. So it's kind of up to you what you want to declare that to be. And it might help if you go around in a circle so that you've all got one each rather than everybody has the bond with a guy with a rat or something like that. So it's up to you. But shall I start with you, Guy? Who do you think you've got the strongest bond with, and how does that manifest itself?
While Celine is frightening, of the three companions, she's the most understandable for me. She's not like, she didn't draw weird sigils all over the hut, which Severin's still a little bit worried means that we were cursed, because we were in that hut all night with those things outside. I'm no expert, and I don't want to show my ignorance by asking, but and doesn't talk to dead people. So I think Celine, I mean, I'm one with the plants and the woods. Celine is the closest to me, but I also think it's really hard for me to like express that, because I'm really calm and quiet and she's quite forthright and shy. So I think I admire Celine, but cannot quite get on with her, as has just been demonstrated by me refusing the rat and then apologising.
So if you've got a bond of value 4 against Celine, Celine, who do you think you've bonded with?
I think I'm gonna have a bond with Thalia, because we're like in this place and she suddenly seems like at home, and this place is completely alien to me. I'm like, I've lived in the wilds my whole life, and this is like the first, I mean, the cabin was like weird. Being inside that was a little strange. But then we've come to this like castle basically, and I am feeling very out of sorts, and I'm sort of sticking a bit closer to her and relying on her like different well, it wasn't an upbringing, was it? Maybe an updragging, to like guide me a little bit and just to sort of follow her lead. And I'm maybe wondering now whether the rat thing was a good idea, and she's sort of been like so open to that I'm like, oh, okay. She helped me get away with it if I've just done something that was maybe not as acceptable as I thought it should be.
Sounds great, yeah.
Rat friends. Lovely.
You've got a bond of 4 with her. Thalia, who's your
love
bond?
Over the body of a rat.
Body and ghost of a rat.
Spirit, yeah.
Spirit animal. I think I'm developing a bond with Renee ever since the wonderful markings on the doors. I just feel that I'm observing all of the ghosts and deaths and things after they happened, while he seems to have the fascinating ability to sort of look into it before it might happen.
Yeah.
And
we
also
both know what it's like to have really hardcore evil powers, don't we?
Yeah, and
Also,
sometimes during it happening. Yeah.
I've eaten a portion of his portion of rat meat. That helps too.
Sounds great. Renee, let's see who your bond is. It'll be a mystery for everyone, I'm sure.
So I feel like something's tugging me towards Severin. So I think Renee hasn't quite seen what Severin's deal is, and I think that I think he seems a little helpless to her, and I think she feels a little bit protective towards him. But we'll see if that protective instinct is justified, or if Severin has more to him than appears.
Well, we'll definitely find out very shortly, because with that agreed raps with the butt of a sword and the doors open, and her last words of advice is to say, don't hold back during this challenge. Tap into your darkness, do whatever you need to do to win, but make sure you survive. And with that, she sweeps into this huge circular part of the cathedral. There's impressive pillars with like a balcony around, and you can see all kinds of people up there on this balcony sort of staring down. It's almost like you walk into some kind of arena and they're there for the entertainment almost. You can hear the small talk, the little laughs, the comments, the gasps by some of them at perhaps the look of you, and the clinking of glasses and drinking of wine. At the far end, there's a dais with stairs. At the top of it, backdropped by these large tapestries and huge curtains of gold with circles and stars upon them, you can see 3 figures. The first is the Grand Master of the Order. He's sort of calmly observing. You can see the many scars on his face. He's obviously a veteran soldier, probably wise and stern. Just sort of lower down from here, the other 2. One is the enlightened Mother of the Order. He's very silent with pure white robes and has this strange golden mask that, as you look at it, seems to reflect your own face back at you weirdly and distortedly. She's got a still posture and just exudes an air of kind of unwavering judgment when she looks at each of you. And then her opposite is an imperial envoy, so where she represents the church, the other gentleman represents the empire itself. And he's got those eyes like cunning like a fox. They're kind of always flitting about, evaluating, judging. He's got reasonably ornate attire and that kind of thing, which seemed to set him apart from most others in this kind of austere setting. But he's sort of, you can see him calculating as he's watching and waiting to see what happens. So the Grand Master raises his hand for people to be quiet and says, well, Ygritte, let's hope that these fare better than what we had yesterday. I hope you found the best. And she
I'll look daggers at Ygritte. This sounds
says,
unpromising. I feel like I've been misled.
I have great confidence.
I'll whisper that they must still have passed, though.
Yeah, exactly. She said
She
that
wouldn't
they
lie
all
to
passed.
us. They must have still passed. Yeah,
They passed, but maybe not with the best of results. We sure can do better.
yeah, we can do better than that. Yeah.
You're not sure what those oily stains are on the floor, probably.
I am. It's blood.
And he sort of takes each of you in turn, and well, it'll look obviously to find a little bit more about your character, perhaps. You get the impression that the initiation is going to be the important bit. For some reason, these officials feel the need to go through some kind of semblance of, propriety and that kind of thing. So Severin, he looks at you first and says, "What do you think? What do you think you can bring to the Order? In what way will you be able to help us against the Reviled, the monsters that stalk the lands?"
I will stand as strong as a mighty oak against these monsters and protect my fellows, my new family. Glance meaningfully around at them.
Excellent stuff. He casts his gaze around at the rest of you. He can't tell whether it's doubt or consideration. There's some expression cast on his face. I'm not quite sure it is. And he looks at you, Thalia, and says, you do realise that strength alone will not be enough to save you all against the Reviled. Their weapons and evil takes many forms. What can you do? How will you protect your stout brother when the oak starts to rot from within?
I can see behind the veil between the world of living and the world of dead. And I can talk to those who already passed. And I can recognize those who wish us good or who wish us bad, and can try and exorcise the bad ones. Make friends with the good ones, and, it's always good to have an advice from those who are older than us and wiser than us.
And his gaze skates across to Celine and says, yes, making friends, developing relationships. This seems like your strong suit, doesn't it?
Mostly I tear things apart, but I think it takes part of a monster to know a monster, so I think I'll be very good at that.
And that all 3 figures seem to agree with this in some way or other. Or you've confirmed some suspicion for them, perhaps. You're not quite sure. And lastly, he casts his eye at Renee and says, so you're all monsters then? How are we to know that you'll be able to control that monster within you and not run riot and cause terrific damage to our order and the land?
I'm not sure, but I see a great castle here and lots of armed men. I'm sure you have a plan for when your pawns run wild. I think we can be confident you'll take care of us if we slip the leash.
He kind of nods, and you catch sight of a couple of crossbowmen entering from the balcony.
I don't think that was the right answer, Renee. I don't think that was what they wanted to hear.
Well, enough
I'm
of
not
this.
here to perform.
Well, perform
I'm
you
no
shall, or
puppy
die.
to cavort for their entertainment.
Well, you say that.
Now, what would you like me to do?
Yeah. And it looks like the enlightened mother's going to start asking more passive-aggressive questions and other things. But the Grandmaster raises his hand and says, enough of this. It's time for the initiation. If they can't make it through this, there's little point in other talk. And he gazes towards Ygritte and says, begin. And she nods and turns to face you, like pulls the scabbard off her sword and sends it skittering across the floor, and then raises it up and comes marching towards you, her eyes as cold as the steel she now holds in her hand as she goes to take a blow. So, this is going to be a challenge. You're pleased to know. And basically, it's much like tasks are. It's turn-based sort of thing. So you'll each get a go to do something, and you're trying to wear down a number of boxes I've got on Agree, and different things might happen as we get along the track. And also, she'll be fighting back, and you'll have to defend yourself with your actions against whatever occurs. So it's up to you. We have had a strict order, but we can change that order up. We can go reverse, or we can do whatever you like. But Agree's going to start out. I think it's fair to say you're reasonably surprised by that. So I think starters are now actually. I'm going to start with Severin because she sees you stood there defending your friends in front, and she just swings this sword at you as if to hack down a mighty oak. What do you do about it?
The first thing I do is I trigger my gift. So I duck down and my skin grows tough as bark, as indeed oak, and I grow a little bit, and I just barrel into her to try and knock her off site and try and draw her away from my my companions. So taking the blow if I must, but trying to knock her off balance. I'm unarmed, but I'm trying to like grapple her, trigger the grappling rules. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah,
I follow the right man. So
that's good. I'm glad I checked. So I think I'm using force. So the bark skin gift means that I might not take a wound if I take a wound, but makes me take a penalty to influence rolls, which I don't plan on making during this fight.
Maybe when you're begging for forgiveness later, we'll see.
Yeah.
And just to point out as well, because you're fighting this particular opponent, you always roll the darkness die as well.
That's fine.
Which I've got a little table for, which may trigger something or not. So you don't get it to use for your results. It's just to see what complications come out. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's force.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Well, I'm going to make the case for defend now.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Because I am actually defending people. I don't know whether strong would still fit.
Yeah. So you only get to use one of each side, just to be so everybody knows as well.
Oh, yeah. So strong is a personality. So
yeah. Just to be clear before people start adding 37 in. Yeah. So yeah, I think all those are good. You can give all your 3 dice and your darkness die.
Cool. Okay, that's a 5, which is not brilliant. Knight did well on the darkness dice, though, didn't I?
No, you don't get to use the darkness die for. So if you're tapping into your urge, you get to use it. Otherwise, when you're fighting bad, you just have to roll it anyway. So the good news is that you do defend your companions because you got the success. But because it's exactly on the target, we take a complication. And because of the 10 as well on the darkness die, it means that a Greek throws you with astonishing force against one of your companions, hearing your bones crack, so you both mark a wound. So I'll give you a wound anyway for the complication of running into it, and then you're going to take another wound unless you want to negate that with your power and pick one of your other player characters that she throws you into.
So my power is when I would take a wound for the rest of the scene, roll a d6, and if I roll 5 or more, I don't take the wound. So
okay, so
I guess I can roll 2d6.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, it's just one
Just
wound.
one.
So do I need to write a description or anything? So cracked
think you
bones.
should. Yeah.
Yeah, cracked bones is bad enough. I think I will have been piled into. Yeah, to make it super awkward, it'll be Celine, who was the one I was trying to impress. I'll have been thrown into. I think.
Sounds good. Okay, so that was kind of like my action because I went first. So now all you lot get to do something if you want to.
Well, I will defer and wait.
Yeah, I didn't know they want to roll against
Yeah,
it.
rather than do it again. Yeah.
Well, I'm also crushed underneath what is quite a barky giant of a man boy. Young adult. So I probably am going to wait as well.
Okay. Well,
I
I'm going to
can,
do some. No, you go.
I was going to try and reason with her, because that will probably work marvelous. Can I use my dark heritage?
I don't know. What's your dark heritage? What does it do? Tell us about it.
I will step in front, given my friends who are down a few moments to compose themselves, and I will talk with a calm but hopefully convincing voice, saying, "Is this really what you adults are doing, bringing kids here and attacking them with actual weapons, while there is the whole world of evil to be fought with, the whole world of innocent to be protected? How many have you killed here for no reason at all? And I want to tear down the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead to show the ghosts of those who failed the tests before us."
That sounds very interesting. So yes, you can definitely take your dark heritage and bring that in.
And I can add personality or training.
Yes, if
Right?
one's appropriate.
Well, I've got empathetic and personality and afterlife in training. So I think afterlife is good.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a D12 plus 8, right? 2 days?
Yeah, if your approach is a D8, then you get an extra D8 for the personality or training, whichever one it was, and then you add a D12. So 2 D8 and a 12.
Oh, okay.
I think we're saying.
9 is the highest.
Yeah,
So I mark 1 on my character sheet, right?
you do.
Mm-hmm.
And because you've got a 9, and you get a complication if you roll a 9, despite being succeeding. So what probably happens is you see the flicker of doubt in a Greek's face before she steals herself. Just to make it clear for folks at home, like wounds can be emotional damage, they can be broken bones, they can be shame, they can be anything we want them to be. So in effect, you've done a wound, but in this case, it's like she's doubting herself a little bit. So I tick one of her boxes, so to speak, but then she steals herself and resolve comes back. However, there's a complication with that, which I think it's going to be insecurity. I'm going to give you as a condition.
Okay.
Because it looks first like you're getting through to her, then she just steals herself, and it's even like the veil between life and death mean nothing to her, and in fact she might be transitioning you between that veil very shortly. She raises her sword up again, so you're not feeling quite as sure as your perhaps words sounded when you first did it. But yep, you've grounded down a little bit. Okay, Stephen, I think you were going to jump in next, weren't you?
Yeah, I think while Ygritte is distracted by a moment of doubt, Renee steps in and produces a long knife from her sleeve and deftly tries to slide it between the plates of Ygritte's armor. So I'm going for precision, and I've got short blades, so 2d8.
Yeah, sounds good. And you have to roll the d12 as well because you're facing a Greek.
So I've got an 8 and a 12 on the d12. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but it's a
It's
big
good for
number.
me.
Great.
Good for the story.
Great news.
Good for drama. So, yeah, you've hit her with another a hit on a hit track, which is good. But you've also rolled a 12. Oh dear. Yeah, no, we'll put that to one side for now. We'll just go with this one for now. She flashes round to look at you, and you just see a homicidal light in her eyes, like whatever was there before was like compassion, big sister, whatever. That's gone, and now there's just you must die is all you see when she looks at you. So you can mark fear as a condition.
Okay.
As you perhaps regret your life choices right now. Okay, so I still think we've got Celine and Severin to do something.
Yes. So you feel like this rumbling, Severin, and it is the growl and like anger bubbling out of Celine as she engages her gift and sort of grows hair, fangs, claws, and just sort of pushes you off her and leaps onto all fours and starts running towards Ygritte to make an attack.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go for force.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm violent.
Yes.
And would this class as a hunt?
I mean, I'm inclined to say, yeah. What does everybody else think? Everybody else happy? Yeah, lots of nods around
Okay.
from the help.
So force is a D10, so that's 3d10 and a D12
Yeah,
because
and a
of...
D12.
Yeah, okay.
Because you've tapped into your dark heritage.
Have I? Oh, because of Ygritte. Is that...
Oh, I thought you'd used the whole...
Oh, my gift. Is that my dark heritage as well? Sorry.
Oh, right. No, sorry. I thought you were tapping into dark heritage. No, yes. But no, it's fine. Ignore me. You roll the D12 because it's agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, so my gift is beast form, so I grow fangs and claws and I apply 1 plus force to my attack.
Gotcha.
Well,
yeah,
my roll.
all good.
So,
all good. I'm back
sorry,
on track.
I didn't explain that very well.
That's right.
So I have got a 10 and then an 8 on the D12.
An 8 will matter now.
Oh, I've actually got an 11. I don't think that makes a difference, but I did.
Yeah, it's fine. It's way above what the target number was, so yeah, you're fine. Yeah, so you jump up upon her and start tearing plates of armor off and things like that. And then it's almost like you're looking in a sort of dark mirror or something, because a Greek starts transforming as well, and her jaws become protruded, and she comes like ultimately you're facing like a half panther, half woman in front of you with these massive fangs, and she's like bigger than you are. Let's just put it that way. There's like the sword's gone skittering off into the darkness somewhere. She's so she does the same sort of thing she did to Guys Gachelli. Like she gets you like a mother lion would get a cub by the scruff of the neck, and then hurls you into someone else. So I'll let you pick if you wish who it is you think you get thrown into, and you can both take a wound.
Okay, I think it's probably going to be Thalia, because you were a little bit further back and like looking into the veil and stuff. So I think I just roll it across the floor and
also
crash into you.
Completely unaware that I might want to take a step aside to leave some space to you guys, just standing there like, oh, okay, and what's going on here? Ooh.
And I also need to roll a d6 because if I get a 1, I suffer anger after. But I didn't. I got a 6.
No,
so
you're
I'm
not
okay.
too angry about it. Okay,
Still
both taking wounds. Excellent. So I think we've just got Severin left.
So Severin sort of gets onto his knees, ready to pounce, but as he sees Celine thrown across the arena, he just takes a deep breath and softly blows towards her as he unlocks his Wild Seeker dark heritage to awaken the forces of nature as this soft blow becomes a gale of wind. Dust flies in Ygritte's eyes and sends her tumbling, hopefully. I'm going to go with willpower. I don't think I have anything that works with that, but I do have a D12.
Sounds good.
From a dark heritage. And I have a 6 on that.
Well, it's enough. You'd be glad to hear. So you do send her. I don't imagine tumbling with a 6, but you send her like sliding back across the cobblestone, like a transformed claws, like just curl up, like grooves in the granite floor or marble or whatever it is. Constantly stone chips fly before she eventually like stops at the foot of the dais, and then it's her action. So she looks around at who she might attack, and I think Renee's probably looking the one that she eyed up with homicidal rage, wasn't it? So she pounces like half the length of the arena to look like just teeth and claws descending upon you. What do you do about it?
I think the only thing I can do really is like stand my ground and hold my knife out in front of me and try and fend her off as best I can.
Amazing. What are you going to roll for that?
So I think it's force, and I'm going to use my independent character trait.
Okay, sounds good. You have to roll the D12 as well, don't forget. And for using force,
I won't forget.
The target was actually 7 using force against her in her animal form.
Oh,
I'm pleased to hear.
I'm not going to get many of those on my D6s. My best is a 3, and I've got an 8 on the D12.
Okay, so bad news for you. So we'll give you, I think, exhaustion as a trait, as she just collapses on you and you immediately like crushed underneath her, and then she just bats you with a claw and sends you arcing into another one of your friends so that you can both take a wound as well. Who would you like to be thrust into?
I would like to be thrown at... Has anyone not been thrown into... No. I'll be thrown into Severin, please.
That's fine, yeah. I'll see if I can endure that wound with Barkskin. No.
I'm going to write down battered.
Sure.
Sorry, did I get a wound? Did I get a wound again? I forgot about that because I got thrown as well, didn't I?
Yes, you do.
And what was that? Just more broken bones, or?
Describe it how you want.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I think, bruised inside and out.
Sounds beautiful. Definitely. Okay, so that's my reaction. So it's back to you guys again. Any one of you can try and take decisive action to put Ygritte down.
Can I try to get an advantage for one of my more fighty friends by talking to some of the spirits around here and asking them for advice, like, what's her weakness? What would be the best approach?
You can definitely do all that. So you don't have to roll for that.
Try.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll.
Yes, I'm initiating my gift, Pale Whispers, and I can ask a question to a ghost, and they're bound to answer truthfully. So I'm picking someone who is relatively close to us and asking, like, you've seen a lot of fights in here. What would be your advice to defeat Ygritte?
I think there's several people who've seen one fight in here, and those smears of blood on the floor. They're probably the most recent ghosts, aren't they?
Yeah, you see somebody who looks like not dissimilar to Severin, like a young fellow, except his head's at a really weird angle. There's these big bite marks in the throat. It says that you cannot use force alone to defeat her. You must pick some other methods. She's too powerful. It's too difficult, and precision either is not a method to try something off piece, try something different. I was so strong and it did me no good. and he looks sadly at the greasy stains on the floor.
Oh.
But you've given advantage to one of your friends, so that's fine. So whoever acts next, you get to re-roll one of your failed dice.
I would imagine it might be Celine, because she was thrown into me. So we're almost cuddling there on the ground while I was talking, and it's really easy for me to give this advice to her, and at the same time, probably Ygritte will not hear it, rather than yelling.
Yeah, makes sense to
the rest
me.
of the party.
Okay. I'm going to think of something off-piste.
Go, do it!
So Celine is going to, still on all fours, is going to start running towards Ygritte again, in the hope of making her think that the same thing is going to happen. But I'm actually going to use subterfuge, hopefully, and use my training in avoidance to sort of throw her off balance and like just keep dodging her swipes and hopefully be like very distracting, maybe exhaust her. Yeah, just to try something different like the ghost and Thalia have suggested.
Sounds great to me. Let's roll some dice.
Okay, so I'm going to go D8 for subterfuge and D8 for avoidance and then the D12.
Yeah.
I got a 7 and a 10 on the 12.
Wonderful. So that is going to defeat Ygritte for the sake of this encounter anyway. The slightly bad news is that you take a wound while doing so, and she throws you into someone else. But
Oh no.
that's going to be merely academic, because at this point, when she's exhausted and just lashing out at you, all have you battered you again, the Grandmaster shouts out, "Enough! We have seen more than enough. This is good. Well done, Ygritte. You have brought us some people worthy." And there's a bit of a pause. Some men step forward, and they've got these like hypodermic syringes full of a thick red viscous fluid. And before you've really quite understood what's happened, they plunged into you, and you suddenly get these weird reveries as the actual drug is called, this great sacrament that you've been given. And the good news is, for all of you, before we take our break and we can all have our individual reveries, is that you can cure all your wounds, you can clear all the boxes in your gifts and dark heritage, and you can think up whatever it is that you see when you're infused with this drug that sorts you out. That's fine, but that will be after the break, because for now we need to recuperate after that excitement. So don't worry, visitors at home, or viewers at home even. We'll be back very shortly as we'll let you sit down, but for now we're off to take some thick viscous red fluid, or maybe a cup of tea. See you very shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to Vileborn. In the first part of our dark young adulty? Is that a word? It is now. Young adulty adventure that we were on. Our motley group of individuals have been forged together with the fires of an initiation, fighting their mentor to prove their worth. And so it is that the days following in Mount Aurelie pass like a blur. There's intense and brutal training of all sorts of combat. There's long lessons about the Reviled and their weaknesses and different sorts of things. You're worked to the bone and crushed mind, body, and spirit. But then, just when you think you can't take any more, there's a handy person who comes along with a syringe of the special reverie, and you get injected, and you find yourself back again and able to do another 10-mile run and more studying and combat tactics and various other things that you have to do. So a few days pass, and you're kind of alongside human recruits as well, like normal people who view with probably suspicion, fear, hatred, envy, or all manner of emotions. But you each get to add a new trait to your training for all this training that you're having. So if you want to add one, and then perhaps give us a little bit of flavour narrative about what that looks like, or how you get a new skill of some sort, that'd be wonderful. Guy, do you have something in mind?
I will defer until I've thought of something quickly.
Excellent. Let's go reverse order this time. Then. Now we're in
That's
the
a good
second
idea.
half,
Yeah,
then.
that's good.
So,
Sounds great,
Stephen, how about your character, Renee?
So a new training, is that what we're getting?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to take visions as I'm taught to manage and control my visions to yield more useful information rather than like the fleeting, terrifying images that I'm more used to.
Sounds good. And Becky, what does your character get?
I think I'm going to go with exploring, because I think in this new environment, Celine is just not, like, it's somewhere completely new to her, and so she has to learn how to, like, fit in a castle when she's used to the outdoors and things. So I think she already knows, like, how to explore the outdoors, but she gets some real, like, help with exploring in here as well, and maybe just improving those skills.
Where was that dining room again? We heard so much about.
And that kitchen. A kitchen.
Yeah.
Not just one fire.
Amazing stuff. Tasha, what does your character learn?
I'm learning exorcism. Not only to see the evil, but to try to convince it leave this body or this place.
Excellent. I'm not going to ask about who it is who keeps getting things put in them for you to exercise them back out again. I'm sure that's straw veil over that. Okay, Guy, how about your character?
Yeah, as I was ready to do. Yeah, I think as the combat training progresses, Severin proves to be utterly unable to wield any kind of weapon. He has no dexterity with that at all. So his training pivots to wrestle and grapple and tackle people with his big oak-like hands. So he has training in grappling, so that we can use those grappling rules again, because they worked so well before.
Rules. Excellent. And my poor players might think that that's thinky time over, but oh no, I'm going to make you come up with some more stuff now, because you're each going to get a personality trait as you're training alongside these others, as I've mentioned, and you're forbidden from using your dark gifts during lessons. So older recruits relish the opportunity to humiliate you or pick on you harshly or show off their strength because they're that bit older and more developed, that kind of stuff. But maybe there's friends you make along the way. Maybe there's other people that you get some kind of bond with, or maybe a teacher or someone like that. So we could do the same order if you want. Stephen, do you want to tell us about a personality trait that you've developed?
Yeah. He says playing for time.
If you look at the cheat sheet I've sent, there's some suggestions of what it might be as well.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've got mine.
Looking down for information.
I've got mine if you wanted me to go first.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, Guy. Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, Severin is a big, beefy lad, and he is, often the subject of butts of jokes, which he completely ignores as if he doesn't understand them. Almost exactly as if he doesn't understand them, actually. But this soon leads the older recruits to just leave him alone, because there's no way to get a rise out of him. And even the tutors, when they try and sort of up the training or catch him unawares, he's sort of unflappable with this and just bats it off as if he has no time for any such subterfuge. So he's calm. It's his personality trait.
Anyone else?
I've got mine. I think it leads on quite nicely as well from Severin's, because I think Celine is, although a hothead and quite violent, is good-hearted as well, and I think she sees what's happening with Severin, and she also sees like some of the trainers and other people being hard on her new pack, and she becomes quite protective of them, and although Severin is calm and doesn't rise to the to the jokes and being the butt of the joke, I think probably Celine does a little bit and sort of sticks up for him when he is like away and has like moved on.
Amazing.
So I've got mine now. So as I inducted into the power structures of this order, I think Renee becomes cynical. She sort of sees the way that we're still being exploited and abused, even though we're nominally members of this order. We're tools and we're being used. And while this may be our best option, it's still not a good option.
Beautiful.
You were so optimistic and
wide-eyed
well, before.
It's worse now. It's worse now.
And how about you, Tasha?
Well, I'm being a teenager, developing a very new thing called obsessed. What am I obsessed with might be different from time to time, not day to day. I'm, more stable than that, but still, if I have something on my mind, I become obsessed with it. And sometimes this is something I see or invent, but quite often this is something being whispered to me by the ghosts, some of their old objectives, which they did not fulfill during their lifetime. And all of a sudden I can wake up and say, you know what? I need to do this and that.
There's that one wall that Pascal could never climb, isn't there? And you still see it crumpled at the bottom of it every day on the way to do it. Yeah. Excellent stuff. Well, you've all got a bond of 4 each, so I think this pressure cooker of training stuff will raise that bond to a 6 for each of you. And how that will work in the second half, if you choose to use it, at some point when the Vileborns roll the die and they haven't hit the target number, if you want to explain how your bond with them helps, you can use the value of your bond instead of the dice roll. So if someone's completely fluffed it up, you can say, because we were buddies. I'll remember that time back in training when we did this or whatever, and then they get your 6 rather than the die roll. Okay. Super. So Agreed's been with you all the time through this, acting as a mentor and giving you fencing lessons and doing whatever else. And she's, sort of taking an interest in what you're doing without showing any favoritism and stuff like that. But you can tell she's still pleased that all of you made it through the initiation and are proving to be of worth and haven't died or anything like that, which is always a bonus. But at one point after supper, she calls you to her chamber and she's smoking a familiar pipe, which now you smell the tobacco or whatever it is, the substance. It just reminds you of that stuff you get injected with, and you begin to wonder if there's perhaps not more than one administration method for this drug, and maybe you've just got the raw end of the deal a bit. But there's no time for that now. As she sits you all down by the fire and pours you some hot wine, and leans in conspiratorially. Says, well, you seem to be doing well. Soon you'll be full members of the Order, and you'll be defending us all against the Reviled. But I have a task that I would ask of you. A few nights ago, one of the other cadets, Bastian, he was granted single night's leave for a hunting trip, but 2 nights have passed now and 2 days, and he's not yet returned. Soon the Order will send someone to search for him, and there's dire consequences if he's not brought back quickly. If someone else finds him from the Order, he'll be put to death, because that's the only punishment we have for desertion. But as recruits, you could conduct an investigation discreetly and unofficially. If I ask questions, that will raise eyebrows, but you could ask amongst your peers, perhaps, or do some other things, so that I don't raise any red flags and cause his death by just merely asking about him. He was a recruit, I think a year older than you, red hair, a scar over one eye, and a swallow tattoo on his shoulder as an identifying mark. He was a difficult character that drew him into a group of disreputable cadets, but maybe they know something more about what happened. Perhaps you could check his rooms or ask around or see what his tutors have to say, check the official records, something, whatever you do it discreetly, done quietly. We can't afford to tip the higher members of the Order off, or we'll have another dead person on our hands, and nobody wants that. Are you happy to do this for me? Perhaps save one of your own?
Overjoyed.
Discreet, yes, we're very discreet.
I am not very discreet. I mean, yes, we are very discreet.
Good. We're glad to see the training's finally taking hold with you. Very well then. See what you can find out. See if you can bring Bastion back perhaps at some point, but certainly before you leave these walls, you should check out and find what information you can. And she bids you a good night and leaves you to your own devices. So you've got a chance over the next sort of few hours, certainly in the morning, or maybe in that evening, to sort of ask some questions or root around or do whatever you need to do. How are you going to go about getting some information about what might have happened with Bastion?
Sorry, go on.
Go on, Stephen, you got it.
I'll go. I'm going to start right here without even leaving the room. So Renee's eyes roll back in her skull and turn black as she asks the darkness to reveal the most immediate danger to Bastion, and searches for a vision using her dark gift.
Sounds amazing. Let's roll some dice.
Okay, so I think that is willpower. I think it's sinister, and it's visions.
Yes, all good to me. Yeah.
I've got an 8.
Yep, that's good. You see yourself transported out to somewhere nearby, a town nearby, perhaps. And you can see a huge tree in a town square. But the tree's like writhing and moving, and you see these like coils reaching out towards you and constricting. And before you know it, you're kind of surrounded by branches and bark that seem to be getting closer and closer and crushing in on you.
Well, at that point, I also have to roll a d6, and if I roll a 1, I suffer fear. So let's see. There you go. That's a terrifying vision indeed.
Was the vision good, Renee?
You kind of snatch you
Renee,
with your own hands around your throat, like
He's being choked.
By
Try to
whom?
breathe. Take it like wrestling into the ground.
He's in terrible danger.
Amazing. Well, I shall go to my quarters and get some of the tobacco that I have been gathering from the various plants around this place, and go to this, because that's just the thing to win the trust of this bad crew that he'd fallen into. And I'm going to go to them, simply offering them a smoke of my specially made tobacco mix, and try and get the conversation around towards Bastion and what his plans were and what he was planning to hunt and where he used to hunt and so on. Which hopefully they'll think that I'm a kind-hearted soul, as I'm known to everyone. Do that.
Well,
So I'm thinking that's influence with kind and herbalism. If that's okay.
yeah, okay, yeah,
It's only a D6. I mean,
yeah, okay, yeah, sure, go for it.
go for it. All right. And that is a 6, in fact.
Good enough. Okay, so the word on the street, without having to roleplay every little detail, they tell you that he took, weirdly for a hunting trip, he took like extra food, and that it wasn't like he definitely wasn't taking enough supplies to go for like one day around here. They know where he normally goes to hunt things, but he was clearly taking enough provisions that he could take 2 or 3 day ride.
Right.
And so that, yeah, it probably comes across from their terms like they're moaning about how he gets all this extra stuff and why didn't they get it and all that kind of stuff. But that's the core of the information they give you.
Right, yeah.
I would like to try and sneak into his room and look around. Maybe there are some notes of the places he was more interested to visit. Maybe there are some clues that will let me know where did he go. So I'm not sure. Is it precision?
I could be persuaded.
Celine was also going to go into the room, so I
Oh,
don't know whether we want to like double up on this.
sure.
Well,
You're like, you do yours, and then you'll open the door hopefully, and I'll be like, oh, hello.
Yep. So precision with I'm guessing sneak through and shrewd.
yeah, makes sense to me.
Yay! It's a 7.
Beautiful. Okay, there's you've got fairly sparse possessions and stuff here, so there's not a lot to look through. But when you check out the fireplace, you find the charred remnants of a handwritten note resembling a scribbled map.
Ooh.
So
Well,
you've probably got a direction of travel, if not the destination.
Okay, maybe Celine can help me read the map, because it's just, I think there are some trees and mountains here, and there is this way within, which might be a river or a road, or just a pretty picture.
Yeah, so Thalia has is like by the fire, and Celine walks in, and is like, "Oh, it's you! My goodness, did you find anything?"
Yes, see, I think it's a map, but I don't know a map of what. Do you recognize anything?
Well, that looks like a forest and a river, and it's pointing north.
Oh!
And it's then that the pair of you note that there's someone else at the doorway behind you. And
Yes? Hello?
as you turn around to
Immediately
look,
putting my hands behind back.
yeah, you recognise a young recruit called Lizanne. And she looks somewhat nervous. It's almost like she was coming here not expecting to find people here, but she shouldn't be here either. So she's got kind of like a slightly guilty but confrontational look in her eyes.
I want to grab her by the clothes and pull her in and close the door behind us so that we're all in his room. And asking, "Oh, hi. Did you come to check on?"
Bastian.
I definitely remember the name.
You carried it.
And Bastian?
Well, he needs help.
Oh, tell me
Her
more.
eyes are starting to fill up immediately as you mention his name. So he just went out to see. He had to get something. He had to bring something back. He said. She looks around, even though there's only you three in the room and there can't be anybody behind him. But she just like kind of look around and says, "He's like you. He's Vileborn."
I'm looking around too, but unlike them, I'm like seeing a bunch of ghosts, even if those are the ghosts of mice or something, and I'm like absolutely serious, like yeah, leaning in, like we.
He won't survive this place. He's not right for it. But he has like family things he needs to do. Could you go out and find something and bring like a token back that we can convince the order that he's died. And we can say, like, look, this is his ring or something like that.
We could do that.
Wait, what?
Could we? Oh, we could. Well, we'll have to think about it, maybe.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Thank you, bye. Pushing her out, closing the door, or him, again, and like, so he's a runaway, but they want us to convince everybody that he actually died. Did I understand it correctly?
Well, I think that was his friend. So she wants the people who would kill him if he's run away to think he's dead. I think, because then they wouldn't bother to kill him, I think. Anyway, I'm just going to grab this blanket because it smells really bad and a lot like him, and hopefully that will help me find him.
Oh, that's great thinking.
Okay, well, I guess you all get together at some point.
Yes.
lurking in the background of wherever you are is Lazanne, who's kind of like looking over hopefully and sobbing into a small handkerchief.
I go like this.
She tries to put on a brave face and sniffs back the little bits of snot though. And a greet will find a point at breakfast to kind of brush past your table and say, is everything going well, recruits? And then sort of leads into, what have you found? What have you got some leads at least?
Yes.
We have.
Where is he?
He had to attend to some urgent matters and might have faced some terrible complications on his way.
He's probably dead.
Well, not might be, but we can make sure and either find him and save him, or find him and be sure if he's dead.
Just sort of like takes a step back to appraise you again and work out. Okay, well,
probably that's the way more or less I communicate quite often. So she should be used by.
I think what we're trying to say is that we've found some information that indicates where he might have gone and a little bit of why he might have left. But to find out more, we're going to have to leave the castle. So, will you get us permission to go after him?
Yeah, I can arrange that. I can get you a couple of days pass. But be quick, don't tarry, and don't make me come after you.
Oh, perish the thought.
Very well. And so we can smash cut to you outside the castle and crossing the icy lake. You've been given permission to leave. You've got a sort of general direction to go. You've got a stinky blanket that your close shroud is using to confirm where you should be going. You pass by the barricades with the guards, one of whom immediately is looking upset as somebody starts calling him piss pants as soon as they see your entourage pass. But yeah, for a couple of days you travel through the darker night, having to hunker down, perhaps even hunker down in that same made-up hunting lodge that you restored at one point.
Ooh, yes, it's our little like base camp.
Feels like home.
Celine sleeps outside the door. Just like, I really don't want to have to sleep in there if I don't have to. And her like shoulders have like dropped massively after leaving the castle. She's like, oh.
And the next day you travel further, and you're beginning to think like, well, it's like if we don't find him soon, then we're not going to have time to get back again. Like, starting to worry about, well, what do we do? Do we carry on following? Do we code our own path? Do we just go back anyway? So we can't find him. What should we do? When you happen upon a village, the village, in fact, of Morsalane, if you care, and even if you don't care, that's still what it's called. But you immediately understand that something's gone terribly wrong, because as you're entering into the bounds of the village, amongst the houses, you can hear terrified screams from villagers that guide you towards the centre of it. And you run through alleyways slick with mud and lined with houses made of wood and slate. It's particularly dark and raining and slick on the floor. And as you reach the village square, you're faced with a nightmarish scene. There's a huge gnarled tree in the centre that writhes disturbingly, and I think Renee, you see the tree before that you saw in your visions.
I am going to take a moment to contemplate my duty and my desire to finish my training successfully to banish my fears before they overwhelm me.
Beautiful. Using a bit of system mastery there to clear a condition.
I read the character sheet. I know what I'm about.
Pro player. Okay. Aside from this writhing gnarled tree and all the villagers that were about, beside the tree, hanging in the air, as if hanging from a rope, but there is no rope. They're just hanging there. There's a young woman whose body seems to be ravaged by crows and just floating a few meters above the ground. You can tell from the marks around her neck and stuff there's been some kind of cruel lynching that did happen, but the rope's no longer there. But nevertheless, she's like floating as if it was. And her face is contorted in this weird rictus, her eyes emanating a cold and murderous light. You can see a man sort of in front with reddish hair. And if you were to leap to conclusions, you might assume it's Bastian. And as he's trying to speak to this woman or this vision, whatever it is, one of the branches lashes out and he throws himself instinctively to try and protect other people. And he's smashed into a house, just disappears through the doorway. What do you do as the rest of the villagers start to scream even louder and trample each other in their haste to get away?
Charging!
Put the training into action, guys. This is it.
Okay. You'll be pleased to know this is a revenant. One of the reviled. Tagline, you will pay for what you have done to me. It's up to you guys. You can go whatever order you want. It's a big challenge scene again, so I've got a number of hits that I need to take before this is resolved. There might be a clever way of resolving the situation, or it might be ripping it to shreds, or it might be a mixture of all kinds of different solutions. Any approach you take is great. Who wants to act first?
Has Severin come forward? Because I'm keen to see what he does with the tree. It feels like Severin's like...
I mean, I have no fear of trees at all. Even these ones, as I think my bark skin activates again, and I am going to leap into it, basically, to try and, beyond where the sort of floating woman is, to try and sort of pin the branches back to allow my fellows to get a good blow in.
Sounds good.
So, force.
Yes. I was just going to say, because this is a reviled, then you roll the darkness die every time as well.
Yeah. So force, I'm going to probably say endure rather than grapple for this, because I'm just going to take it. And strong.
Sure. All good.
As I leap into it. Let's see what this thing can actually do. Darkness dice of 12. I think we'll see. And I've got an 8 on my result.
Okay, so happily you do pin back some of these branches.
Yeah.
So there's less writhing and thrashing about, and perhaps save a couple of villagers' lives in the process. However, also, the Revenant forces you to relive the agony of her lynching, inflicting a grievous wound on your flesh. So you all see like rope marks start to appear around Severin's throat as the blood's choked off a little. You get a wound for that. In fact, you got a 12. Yes, everybody suffers a wound, so you all get your own vision of being choked.
Well, I'll just see if my barky skin absorbs.
Yes, go for it.
It does not.
And then you can all make a normal willpower test as well, or you mark fear.
Is that just straight willpower?
D6.
If you've got something particularly apposite, you could use that as well.
Calm was what I was going for.
Yeah, go for it.
Which is the...
I'll add afterlife, if you don't mind.
Yeah, afterlife's fine.
I don't think I've got anything.
No, I am
I
afraid.
don't think I do either.
Oh, a 3. What did we have to get? A 6?
5 for that.
Oh yeah. And what
I've
am
got
I?
2 5s. Can I share?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
so
all in the middle of the table. There we go. Yeah.
Thallian just sees the thin life between life and death as everyday activity. There's nothing wrong here. The rest of you are more distressed. Okay, that was Severin's action. He wants to take up the mantle next.
Can I try and talk with the lady ghost
Sure.
on a tree? Dead body, whatever she is. Well, who are you? What do you want?
I want you to pay for what you have done to me.
We haven't done anything. We just showed up.
You unjustly killed me, dragged me from my home. No witchcraft here, but yet you declared me a witch. You will all suffer as I have suffered. Where is he? She shouts out.
Who? Who do you want to find?
Cold, dead eyes start to scan about the writhing mass of people screaming and running in all directions. Do you want to make some kind of test to extract information from her?
I would love to.
You tell me what approach you want to take and what appropriate personality trait to ask you.
Well, I think it would be very appropriate to use my dark heritage and try, instead of being, somewhat slow with questions and answers while so many things are happening at once, try to relieve important bits of her life, trying to understand who she believes is responsible for her demise, because this might be the key to dealing with her. So I'm thinking to use empathy and afterlife.
And what, sorry, was the second one?
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
Or I can switch afterlife into exorcism, sort of trying to figure out what I can use to peace this spirit.
Sure, go for it.
Is it?
So you'll get 3 dice in total of your whatever your approach die type is.
Is it a willpower? And the D12, yeah.
Yep, a D12 for the bonus dice as well.
Oh, I've got a 6.
Him, the one in charge. The red-haired one. I killed his father. Where's the son?
Can I possibly try and see through her eyes?
Yes, she's looking at you. You get a vision of her being dragged out of her home, and it doesn't look like... If Bastian was about 25 years older, a middle-aged man, that's the sort of face you see with a big mop of red hair.
Do I have an understanding if she was, falsely accused, or was she actually guilty of any wrongdoings?
You get the feeling she was falsely accused. You get the feeling like there's a real burning injustice. It's probably what caused her to become a revenant in the first place, is the fact that it was so profoundly unjust and a horrific way to die, etc., etc. Okay, I think that's enough of your interactions with her. What's the rest of the other people doing while that's happening? Or do you want me to do things to you?
I'm going to rush into the hut where Bastian was flung and grab him up and say, "Who is she? Why did you come here? Tell me now before I make it worse than you can even imagine." And I'm gonna try and threaten information out of him, shake him.
Sounds good to me.
So I'm going for influence and sinister.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 7.
This is my I don't know. It must be my family. Like I just returned. I heard my father had died, so I've come back to claim I'm the mayor now. I must run this place. It wasn't me. It must have been him.
You're a fool. You know you're never going to be mayor of this village.
But I am now. I am. I have his ring, and he holds up like this signet with a little coat of arms carved into it.
I'll snatch it out of his hand. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm sure it'll be more useful in my hands than yours.
Okay, he looks somewhat doubtful of this, but doesn't fight back. Okay, meanwhile, outside the house, there's still lots of screaming going on and stuff. Celine, what do you do about it?
So I think Celine is like, all this has happened so quickly, and Celine is obviously feeling very afraid after having like the feel of that rope around her neck and experiencing a little bit of what this revenant has, and she is like getting a bit overwhelmed, and then thinks back to the training and everything they've been taught, and just sort of puts all that into action, and like remembering her duty, so that she is no longer afraid.
Nice.
Which is good. And then she is going to launch herself at this figure, this revenant, and is going to attempt to like bring it to the ground and cause damage to it with her fangs and her claws.
Sounds great.
I am going to use my beast form gift. And I would also like to use my dark heritage as a claw shrouder, if possible.
It all sounds perfectly acceptable to me.
So, I'm going to go with force, and I'm going to go with violent, and I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't think hunt can come into that. And I need 2d12s as well, do I?
You just roll one. And
I'll
we'll
just
apply
roll
the
one and
results
it's the same
across
score.
both of
Great,
them.
okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. So it's an 11 and a 10.
Okay. You start to shred her form and then fall through her as she becomes insubstantial. So you think you have done some damage, but then she just becomes transparent almost as you just fall through the body. Was this? You can still see her, but can't seem to interact with her no matter how much you swipe. And you rolled a 10. And she becomes even more angry, if that's possible. And branches of the tree lash out at you. Do you want to make some kind of test to avoid that, or take a wound?
I'll try and avoid it, yeah. So, what would I use for that? Subterfuge? That seems a stretch. Precision?
Yeah, you can try and dance out of the way. Sounds good.
So I'm going to try and dive out of the way. I'm going to use precision. Can I use protective to protect myself?
Sure.
And avoiding, because
Definitely.
I'm going to avoid it. So that's
Yes. No problem. It's difficulty 6, so you got exactly what you wanted to. Dive out of the way as a branch lashes down to where you were moments ago. Okay, who's got something else for me?
I guess I will try to calm her down, even if for a short period of time, trying to exorcise her, push her out of this realm back into the world of the dead, live in this place alone. So it could be willpower with exorcism and shrewd.
Certainly the first two. What does the table think about shrewd? Is that good enough? No, I'm not feeling the love on shrewd. So you get your 2 dice on the d12.
And I did 12.
Yes, because you're fighting a Reviled and something bad might happen.
Okay.
So you don't get to use the d12, but I do. Oh, lovely. This is a great example. Thanks for that.
Would it help if it was a 6?
It would mean one less condition for your friend.
I think in this moment, because of my bond with Thalia, I call out and sort of warn her about, like, to pull out, it's not working or something, and hopefully she gets out of that sort of interaction with it in time to not suffer as much.
Sounds good. Yeah, so we'll call that success. I'll mark a box. Yeah, I think the desire for revenge is so strong in this Revenant that as you try and send her away, you can almost feel yourself being pulled in as well, like you're going to disappear off into wherever you're trying to send her. So at last minute, thankfully, your close shrouded friend can like snap you out of it and sort of pull you back from the brink. But you still are going to take a condition. Yeah, and I think instead of you, it's one of the villagers nearby gets like sucked out, or like the spirits get sucked out of the body, and the corpse collapses down next to you. So you can mark anger as a condition as you realise it's taken out its frustrations on someone nearby, even though it didn't get you.
I guess I'm just more angry that it didn't work, because I might have not necessarily even noticed that, I mean, there used to be a villager nearby, now there is his ghost, and I do not necessarily always tell the difference. I mean, he's still here, in one form or another.
Part of him is, okay. Okay, how about Renee and Severin then?
Yeah, I'm gonna, as I'm sort of grappling with these branches of the tree, I will sink my hands into the bark of it and call upon my Wild Seeker heritage as thick, soft moss begins to grow on the whipping branches to try and slow them down and do it hopefully as I manage to sink this. So I'm thinking willpower and the D12 from a dark heritage, don't have anything else really for that.
Beautiful.
And that is a 9, but it's also a 9. So, yeah, I believe that's a complication.
It is indeed. I think, yeah, it's appropriate at this point. The Revenant drains part of your life force, so you can mark exhaustion. That's, yeah, the moss seems to grow faster than you're expecting, and that's because it's sucking out your energy to make it bloom even faster.
Yeah, it's going up my arms as well.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't normally happen. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. How about you, Severin? You've got this feeling of a desire for vengeance. You're holding a familial ring in your hand.
Oh, me.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I meant Renee. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
bad.
I'm gonna drag Bastian out and growl in his ear. You've got to speak to her. You're the only one she'll listen to. It's you she wants. If you really think you're the mayor of this village, then you need to stand up, because she's going to kill the villagers.
Okay. And you're like, as you're forcing him forwards, the snaking branches and roots are arcing towards you, surround you. What are you going to roll to like convince him to actually speak some words?
I think I am going to go for influence, and I'm going to go for... No, I don't have... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for influence.
Okay.
I don't think I got a principled argument for anything else, to be honest.
Fair enough.
It's a 7 though.
7 is good enough. And that's in fact going to be the last hit. So he stumbles forward and goes like, ends up collapsing to his knee and said, "Like I should have done something. I know I should have done something. I'm sorry. I just hid behind the wood piles. But it's my father. Don't you understand? I couldn't stop him. He's too strong. It's not my fault. I was weak. I should have stopped him. I should have spoken up for you, but I couldn't do it." And he creates such a pathetic wretch of himself at the feet of this revenant that the spirit either seems to take pity or perhaps just not think it's worth the effort. Perhaps it's better for her that he lives in the shame and ignominy of what he's done, having fully realised it. And she melts away to nothing. The tree itself stops writhing. The moss stops on its steady march towards Severin's mouth, happily. And the villagers begin to calm down as things go. I mean, I'm not saying go back to normal, but at least not as terrifying as they were a few short moments ago. And sort of gathering himself, Bastian sort of looks furtively around with the tears of frustration streaming down his face. It's like what happens next?
That's a good question. Do you want to be dead?
If the order knew I was dead, that might work, he says. And he starts slowly getting to his feet.
Such a shame we were too late to rescue you.
Yes, it was.
We'll
Yes.
need a token, of course, to prove that you're dead. The tattoo on your flesh, that should do the trick.
Or that signet ring, Renee.
Or we could
maybe.
just use the signet ring, yes.
3 of your fingers. What, like?
Yes,
We
in
could
a
take
pinch
that
we could
guy's
manage
finger.
with the signet ring.
Yeah. Forced to, yeah.
So what's your decision? Are you going to leave him here to govern his village and head back and claim that he died, or what?
Yes,
That's
if the
definitely
village needs such a manifestly unsuitable mayor, like really, then fair enough. They're welcome to him.
Very well. Well, he's eternally grateful. Not in his wildest dreams did he think this would be the outcome they got. But so yeah, he thanks you profusely and tells you that you've got a hearth and a home. Anytime you need it, just come back, and he'll do his best. And just then stares around at the devastation that used to be his home. And wonders what he's going to do about it as people stare at him questioningly.
I'll give him advice to maybe try and, I don't know, dye his hair or something, because the village is merely 2 days away from the castle. And I have a feeling that the tales of his ability to rule might reach the ears of those who'd rather not know that he is still alive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give
the
the
tattoo
connection.
is relevant, isn't it, actually? Like, you should do something about that, maybe. Bastian. Might want to lie low a little bit.
Develop a habit of wearing scarves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Renee a jostle as well and be like, did you hear that? A home, wherever we might need it.
I'm not sure this is the place.
The tears of loved
Mayor
ones.
is unimpressive.
Okay, so I guess we'll wrap up with you heading back to present this signet and convincingly or not suggest that he's already died on the road somewhere, and the village can carry on trying to make its best in this world, and you all can carry on with your training. So I think as a denouement, having got back and succeeded in your mission, what happens like over the next few weeks? Like presumably you all make it to be full members of the Order of the Dusk, but is there some particular challenge any of you overcomes, or some great moment, or a friendship that burgeons, or do you get what your aspiration was, or does something else happen to you? Shall we go back into our original order and start with Severin? Guy, what happens to Severin?
I think that we just see Severin very clumsily and slowly writing a letter, reporting on how his training's going and all the best, and hoping well wishes, and passing it on to a messenger who takes it not back to his family but over to the village to Bastian, because he still feels as if there's a bit of responsibility in him to try and make sure that this manifestly useless, as Renee described him, mayor actually succeeds, because we've had a part in this, and that maybe being mayor of a village would be the exact kind of thing that would make my family respect me.
Maybe we shall find out in season 2. Okay, Tasha, what happens to Thalia?
I think due to the fact that we've proven ourselves trustworthy enough to be left outside of a fortress for a day or two, I would try and arrange some sort of a night out, of a little, almost family-like picnic in that little wooden hut halfway to the village, which is a lovely place for Celine and Severin to be closer to nature as they like, and a bit far away from the big stony castle. And Renee has still a lot of space to put more lovely sigils on the walls. And at the same time,
Strong
it is...
decorative motifs.
Yes, exactly. And at the same time, it's secluded enough so there no ghosts around, and I can actually be there talking to my friends rather than talking to all of the spirits around whom my friends cannot see. And I hope we have a lovely bonding moment of just, being silly teens. Talking, bonding, maybe having some marshmallows on a fire. Or rats, for that matter.
Yes, the growing array of judgmental rat spirits is becoming a bit of a problem, perhaps. Okay, beautiful stuff. Becky, how does Celine progress? Well, while we're waiting, maybe find out or maybe not. Shall we find out what happens to Renee?
Yeah, so I think that night in the as we celebrate in the hut, Renee for the first time says that she'll tell all of her friends' futures, and she looks into the future to see what's going to happen to each of them, and she tells you comforting lies about how long we're going to live and how well we're going to do.
I knew it. Just as I expected. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Do you want to have one more go, Becky? We'll see if you're back.
I think I'm back now.
You are back now.
Yeah. I'd pulled the microphone out with my foot.
Yeah.
So I think that Celine's is very similar to Thalia's. Like, it happens at this party that Thalia has organised, and they're all sort of sat round, and Renee's reading Severin's future, and she's pretty sure that it's not right, but she's as long as they're happy, and she's killed something big, some awful stinking badger or something, and Thalia's really happy about it, and Renee and Severin are ignoring it, and she does finally feel maybe this is the group of people that I am gonna find my pack here, and maybe they'll be able to keep me in check enough that I don't slaughter them all, because that would be really great as well.
Amazing stuff.
And then we're still all alive.
For now.
Thus
Excellent.
far, yeah.
The camera pulls back through the woods, and you see the cold breath of the thing that's watching you all waiting for you to sleep.
Oh,
Yes.
Renee, how many grandchildren did you say we're going to have?
7, Severin, 7.
I'll think of their names now.
Lucky number 7.
Wonderful stuff. Well, thanks to all my players. Thank you all in Viewerland for watching. And if you liked what you've seen, or if you didn't, please do like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, ring that bell, because all that stuff helps. Leave a comment down below. Who amongst our wonderful Vileborn do you think did best? Who will survive longest? Will any of them? Will Celine eat them all, or what will happen next? Who knows? Do let us know what you think the next chapter would look like in the comments, because we'd love to hear from you, and it helps the channel out. Until next time, bye for now.